Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel here. So first off, I'd like to apologize for the noise. I am a South African, and in South Africa we have a lot of power problems. So right now I'm running a generator to be able to just do my work. And because of that, there's obviously going to be a little bit of noise. So I apologize for that. Hopefully I can cancel it out a little bit through my editing software, and we'll see how that sounds. But if it's annoying, I apologize. So it is Prime Day. As a South African, I don't really know what that means too much. I assume it's Amazon Prime's big sale of the year. That's what it seems like anyway. And so because of that, although I don't think it's just a day, I think it's like a couple days long, so that's a little bit curious. But because of that, I decided that I will be making a Prime Day PC. And this PC will be a theoretical PC like the ones I've been doing recently. It won't be, I'm not actually going to buy the parts, I'm just going to explain to you what I would put in a computer of a certain budget with certain components on Amazon, and in this case Prime Day components. So these are all on sale. These are pretty good deals. You'll save like between 10 and 40% or something like that most of the time, and you'll save a bit of money. So this computer would be like $1,500, but now it's $1,200. That's a guess, but that's how much I estimate you'll save. And so this video is all about building a $1,200 computer and doing it on Prime Day. So with that said, let's take a look at the components I selected. First off, these are going to be some pretty high-end components. First off, we've got the CPU. I've decided to go with the Intel Core i7 12700KF. Usually I go for AMD just because it's got such good value. But in a case like this, where it's usually $280, now it's $220. I think that's quite a good value for a CPU like this. This is obviously a very powerful CPU. It's a 12-core CPU. It is the LGA 1700 socket. It's got a 25 megabyte L3 cache, which is quite good. And it, out of the box, it runs at 3.6 gigahertz, which is pretty good. Now this is the KF SKU, so this does not have any internal graphics. But when you're purchasing something like this, you're doing it for gaming most of the time, and because of that, you will get a different graphics card. I'm not sure how many threads this has, but I do know that it is 12 core. And yeah, it supports DDR5 as well, which is going to be vital to the PC that we're building. And like I said, this is going to be quite a good PC that we're putting together here. So yeah, again, I'm not sure how many threads this has, but it has 12 cores, 20 threads. So that's really good. It's going to be a really fast CPU. Can't go wrong with it. Okay, CPU cooler. So I'm going for the classic Thermalright Peerless Assassin. Now, I can only go for deals that are Prime Day deals, and this was one of them. So on this one, you save about $10, which is quite a good deal for something that isn't like extremely expensive to begin with. And this is just generally an all-round really good CPU cooler. This whole Peerless Assassin range is really good. This is an RGB version, which is going to fit with our case, but if you don't want RGB, you can easily just choose one that has no RGB. So yeah, not too much to say about this. Tried and tested, really good CPU cooler. Okay, motherboard now. We are going with the ATX ASUS TUF Gaming Z690 Plus. Now, this is a saving that's quite high. It's about $80 off. Usually it's $260. Now it's $180, so it's a really good deal. This is a full-size ATX. It's not an extended ATX, it's just normal ATX, but it's got PCI 5.0, DDR5 memory. It's got 4 NVMe slots, so we can fit a whole lot of NVMe's into this. And it comes with Wi-Fi, as you can see there, and USB 3.2 and 2 USB Type-C ports. So all around, just a really good really good motherboard. I think it's going to work really well with this build, and it looks quite cool as well. It's quite busy, but it will fit a lot of color schemes, so that's good. Okay, moving on to the graphics card now. So I've decided to go with an AMD graphics card. I originally wanted to go with NVIDIA because I think it would have looked better in a build like this. But when it comes to value, AMD is just king. They just have so much value options, and NVIDIA just really don't. And I think this is quite a nice looking graphics card. Again, it's kind of like two-tone neutral colors, so you can fit it with a lot of different options for cases, which I think is really good. This is the RX 6750 XT, so it's just basically the upgraded version of the 6700 XT. It's just a little bit better, but it's a really good card. It's got 12 gigs of GDDR6 memory, and it's just all around a really good card. It's like one of the recommended options for 1440p gaming. So if you're gaming at even 4K up to like 100 FPS, this is going to work really well. Again, not too much to say about this. This is just a really good deal. You're saving quite a lot of money again, almost $100. And yeah, just all around a really good graphics card. You can't go wrong with it. Now, if you do have the budget to go for like a 6800 XT or a 6900 XT, then, you know, that's going to work just as well. It's going to work better. But this is just a really good option. So, moving on to the RAM. I've gone with Crucial. Now, this is nothing fancy looking. It's just a blackout kit of DDR5 really fast RAM. It's 5600 mega transfers per second, so that's really fast. This is a 32 gig kit, so it's 2 sticks of 16 gigs, and yeah, that leaves, if you look at the motherboard, that leaves another 2 lanes open, another 2 DIMM slots open. So we can even go to 64 gigs in the future if we want to, but this is going to last you a really long time, and it is like really fast and new, so I think it will be a fantastic memory kit. And again, a really big saving. It's like a $40 saving there, so it's pretty good. Okay, moving on to the NVMe drive now, the SSD. This is also a Crucial. Crucial P5 Plus. This is a 2 terabyte drive, and it is a PCIe Gen 4 drive. It uses 3D NAND flash storage, and it's just altogether really fast, 6,600 megabytes per second. Fantastic drive. It's also just kind of basic looking, just a blackout drive, but I think that fits the theme of the build quite well, and this is just under $100. And it is a massive saving, coming down from $320 to just under $100, which is just a fantastic Prime Day deal there. If I were you, I would grab this right now. Getting to the case now. So I'm a big Antec fan, as you might know if you've looked through my series. I really like their cases. They make really solid stuff, good airflow, looks nice and sleek, and yeah, lots of cable management options. Usually comes with a fan controller, and they might make quite big cases as well. It can fit a lot of hardware. So you have a few options here. This one specifically is the only Prime Day deal, and this is a really nice case. It's got these 3 ARGB fans at the front here. It's 120mm fans. It's an ATX mid-tower case. It's got USB Type-C at the connector there. It's got 2 USB 3s. It's got a audio jack, a microphone jack. Well, not jack, input rather. It's got LED cycling, so I guess it's for these fans. That's what I would guess it's for. And then it's got the power button, of course. It says GPU bracket. I'm not sure what they mean with that. Maybe it just holds the GPU straight. And yeah, it supports 360 more radiators as well. Hey, Baba. Hey. And yeah, altogether just a really good really good solid case. I really like Antec's cases, and they have GPU fans, and I mean their PC fans, their CPU fans, their power supplies. I really like Antec as a brand. So this is coming down from $100 to $71, well, $72. Really good saving there as well. So fantastic option here. Now, of course, take your time and look around for Prime Day deals. Take a look at what there is, but definitely make use of the savings, because it's some fantastic deals to be had. Okay, power supply now. We are going with the Cooler Master V850 Gold. Fully modular, 850 watt, 80 plus gold, and really cool looking as well. It's got a lot of options for connectivity, as you can see, and it is $155, coming down from $185. Now, for power supplies, I couldn't find too many good deals. There's a lot of like lower tier power supplies that are on pretty good deals, but for this build I wanted to go with something reputable and something that we know is going to perform well. So I went with this, but take a look around if you are okay with using non-name brand power supplies, or at least lesser known name brand power supplies. There are some options, but this is a pretty good deal as well. So for a build like this, you want to go for about 750 watts, no lower than 650 watts, but preferably something like 850 watts. Just gives you that little bit of headway, and if you want to upgrade, then you don't need to upgrade your power supply. And lastly here, to fill out the price, we have a set of cable extensions. These ones specifically are red, $21 here, but you can go with any color that you want. And I just realized this isn't even a prime deal, so yeah, disregard this if you want to, but this is just to fill out the price. We've got some red cable extensions. It just makes it look nice. So with a case like this, I think it'll look pretty good, but you can go for white if you've got a white case. You can go for a mixture. You can go for black, gray. There's a lot of options. So yeah, but this isn't even a prime deal, so just disregard this if you want to. This is just yeah, just an extra. So that's going to be it for the parts, coming up to about $1,200. I think this PC will perform really well. We'll take a look at it in the theoretical benchmarks, as I always do, where I just take pre-completed benchmarks and just take a look at the performance there. And yeah, this is just a theoretical PC, but really take a look around the Prime Day deals for components. If you're in the market for anything, there's some really good specials to be had here. So take your time, look around, and I think you'll find something that you'll like. With that said, let's move on to the pricing guide for this computer, and let's take a look at the accumulation of pricing and how much money we've saved. So let's do it. Okay, welcome back. So we are looking at the build guide, pricing guide for the $1,200 Amazon Prime Day sale PC. So I've made an extra tab here called normal price, and then I've split it into two: Prime Day price and normal price. So basically sale price and normal price, and this is just to show you the amount of savings that we're going to be getting from this Amazon deal that we are currently looking at. So starting off with the CPU, as you know, we've gone for the Core i7-12700K F SKU. Prime Day price $220, normal price $282, so that's a big saving there of about $62. Looking at the motherboard, the Tough Gaming Z690 Plus, going from the normal price of $260 to a price of $182, another massive saving, and so far really good components. Looking at the RAM, we have the Crucial Pro 32 gig kit, so two 16 kits, DDR5, I think it was 5600 megahertz. Usually they go for $115, we are getting them for $76, so another massive saving there. And this PC is starting to look pretty good performance wise. GPU, we are going for the Radeon RX 6750 XT. Another massive saving here of about $100, around $90 or so, going from $445 to $355. So that's an RX 580 just taken out of the price there, so it's a big saving there. Looking at the SSD now, the Crucial P5 Plus 2 terabyte NVMe drive Gen 4, usually it's $320, now it's $90, and this is by far our biggest saving, saving like $260 there, something like that. That's a massive saving there, so that's very impressive. Hop on this deal if you are able to, because that's a huge deal there. We are not going with an HDD, no hard drive, because I just don't think it's necessary. 2 terabytes is plenty for gaming, and this is a gaming computer. Moving on to the power supply, we I've forgotten to enter the name. Let me just enter the name there. The Cooler Master V850 Plus Gold. So it's an 800 watt unit, 850 watt unit. And it is fully modular, gold rated, fantastic unit. Still not cheap, still a little bit expensive at this price, but you know, you get what you pay for, and it's super quality. And when you have high-end components like these, you want to protect them. So going from $185 to $155, nice $30 saving there. And then for the case, we're going with the Antec DP503 ATX mid tower. You saw the case, it's really good looking. This is one of those things where you have to choose what you like, but for me this is a good value and a really good case, good airflow, comes with 3 fans, so we don't need to really purchase fans either. Usually it's listed for $100, now it's $72, a nice $28 savings there, so that's fantastic. Lastly here we have the Thermalright Peerless Assassin CPU cooler, that's our extra here. Now for the cable extensions, I didn't put them in this list because you can add them if you want to round it up to $1,200, but I'm just going to stick with $1,180 for the actual pricing. We'll just call it $1,200. So if you want to add something for $20, you can do that. So we are going with the Thermalright Peerless Assassin. This is just an infamous, just a famous CPU cooler, and it's a pretty good price at $30, coming down from $40. Nice $10 saving there. And lastly, we'll take a look at our totals. For the Amazon Prime Day savings, we have a total price of $1,180. And our usual price on a normal listing day outside of the savings would be $1,747. So that's a massive saving there. Around, what's that? 1,750, around $550 there. So that's a really good saving, and I think building a system like this, or just taking a look at some of the components that I've listed here, make use of these savings while you can. I think this sale day is ending soon, so you know, do it while you can, save some money while you can, and this is going to be a fantastic performing PC. So we'll take a quick look at the theoretical performance of a computer like this, but just by parting it out you can see that it's a massive saving, and this will be a great PC for 2K and 4K gaming, and it will absolutely destroy HD. So let's take a look at the pricing, at the performance. This was the pricing, and let me know what you think of the pricing. Let me know if you think of the sales. I think it's pretty good. Let's take a look at the theoretical benchmarks. Let's do it. Alright, taking a look at the last section of the video here, and this is of course the benchmarks, theoretical benchmarks. Now of course this is recorded, well, not by me, but this was recorded at 1440p, high settings for everything, or maximum settings, because this is of course a high settings style 1440p graphics card. It's capable of that, so there's no reason not to use it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any benchmarks with specifically the components that I had, so these benchmarks are actually a little bit underpowered compared to what we have parted out in our build. So as you'll see, we have the i5-1200F, which is a lot weaker than the CPU we have, and I think this only has 16 gigs of RAM as well. And I don't believe it's even DDR5. So we can comfortably add quite a bit of performance to our to these benchmarks for our system. Now, I would have liked to have the specific components to be able to see what the performance would be like, but unfortunately it is what it is. I couldn't find that anywhere, so we'll just take a look at these ones. And this is a much cheaper system, but we'll just add, you can just add another 5 to 20 FPS depending on the game, and it'll just be an overall much smoother experience. So just keep that in mind. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the specific components, so these components in these screenshots are a fair bit weaker than what we have in our system, that what we have ported out in our theoretical purchase for Prime Day. So starting off with Valorant 1440p high, it is getting 271 FPS on 1440p, which is more than what you would ever need, even for an esports game like Valorant. So fantastic start there, and who knows what we would get with our components, maybe even close to 300 stably. Going to The Last of Us Part 1 now, and this seems like, okay, so this is 1440p Ultra, seems like a stable 60 to 80 FPS. The average here is 60, but with our components you could add another, in a game like this, another 10 FPS easily. So let's just say we would be getting around 75 to 80 FPS easily with our components. Miles Morales, the new Spider-Man game, ray tracing off, 1440p very high, and this seems to get 106 in this frame, but around an average of 76. I would wager that we would get 100 stable with the components that we have ported out. 1440p Ultra, Red Dead Redemption 2, 84 frames in this shot, average of 82, and this is a fantastic looking game still, and it is demanding still, but this weaker PC handles it really easily at 1440p, and our PC again would get close to 100 average. Now we're looking at Rainbow Six Siege 1440p Ultra, FXAA anti-aliasing, and this is running on DirectX 11. This gets 290 FPS on this shot specifically, and an average of 303 FPS, and I think with our components this would easily get 350 average. Okay, Hogwarts Legacy now, 1440p Ultra, ray tracing off, 63 FPS in this shot, and again a very demanding game, so this is a respectable performance, average of 63 as well, and with our components I think we would get 75 to 80 easily on average. I think, okay, second last one here, 1440p Extreme, ray tracing Extreme, Forza 5, FPS 82, average 78. Again, same thing with our components, you could add easily another 15 FPS to the average there, and this has already got a really smooth frame time for all of the games, but I think it would smooth out even more with our DDR5 RAM and with our 10 core CPU as well, or how many cores was it? I think it was 10 cores. Second last one here, we have Fortnite 1440p Epic DirectX 12, FPS of 89, average FPS of 90, and with all components easily 110, 120 average on these settings. This game looks fantastic these days, and it's a lot more power hungry than what it was, but I think our computer would destroy it even at 4K. Lastly here we have Cyberpunk 1440p Ultra, ray tracing off, and this one struggles a little bit, 47 FPS, 47 average, but I think with our components we could easily achieve an average of 60 smooth, FPS. I mean, that DDR5 RAM, that's 12700KF. It would just run so well with this game. And so that concludes our testing. Now, unfortunately, like I said, I didn't have the exact correct references for testing, but you could easily add another 10 to 20, even 30 percent performance to these benchmarks for the components that we have parted out, and also considering you'll be running it from that really fast NVMe that we parted out as well. So that's it for the video. That's it for the parts that we parted out, for the theoretical benchmarks, for the pricing. And to conclude, I think you should definitely take a look at a computer like this. Take a look at the Amazon Prime Day deals. I'm not sure when Prime Day ends, but I think it's today or tomorrow, so hurry up and take a look at those, and make sure that you if you are in the market for something, maybe a graphics card, a hard drive, a SSD, RAM, a CPU, a motherboard, just take a look. There's a lot of good deals, and deals from reputable brands, and I think this PC that we ported out would perform fantastically, and I think for 2K and 4K gaming it'll be a very smooth PC to play with, and there's a lot of leeway for upgrading that graphics card later on if you want to upgrade to like the 40 series from Nvidia, or maybe the next generation of AMD cards that come out. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know what you think of the parts that I selected. What would you do differently? Did you enjoy the video? If you have any suggestions, let me know. Like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.